Well, hello there, my friends. Just wanted to say, if any of you guys have not seen the first part of this Let's Play, please take a look at it. It's the video before this known as Pride of Nations gameplay. We are playing the Second Boer War, and of course, we are playing as the South Africans, and this may be one of the few actual campaigns I've done in Age Odds where I feel like I started it out really well. So you guys are going to have to check that out. Now, here's the situation. We've essentially taken control of quite a few areas. These guys right here, the yellow, they're the Orange Free State. So they're actually on our side. They're trying to help us. Now, as you guys can take a look over here, I've actually managed to take over Bisho, which is one of the main British cities, I should say. And what I think I'm going to try to do now, I'm sending this army here by Joubert PJ. I'm going to try to catch these British soldiers off guard. And in the meantime, in Bisho, I'm going to try and attack Port Elizabeth. I think taking Port Elizabeth would be a major victory for our side, and that's kind of why I'm doing that. I'm going to go ahead and take a look here, and excuse me, with Pride of Nations, I'm fairly new at the ledgers, but this is the situation we have. Of course, we have our wonderful president, Paul Kruger. We can't really do anything in terms of increasing education or anything like that, but I'll just go through this slowly. You can see that we are in an oligarchy. We have an unstable government. For those of you that want to pause and take a look at these parts, this is quite important stuff. Protectionism for trade, full autocracy for government, elitist, as well as somewhat backward. Well, what can you say? I think that's a bit rude. So we're going to go ahead and just take a look here. These are right now our forces. And unlike the actual Boers, instead of, basically turning our forces into multiple different armies, we're really just keeping two main armies, which I think is good because so far we've been crushing the British in battle. And the one thing I do worry about, and you guys can take a look at that up here, is the fact that one of the British has gotten over here, the White's army, and I wanted to beat him. We actually probably don't have enough men to beat him in battle, which is one reason I want to be very careful with our movements. But I am going to move in here. I'm going to try to take Port Elizabeth from the British, and we're also going to try to destroy this British army right here. So let's hope for the best, and let's see what happens, of course. Hopefully we destroy these men quite quickly. Let's go ahead and end the turn. For the Afrikaans! And I hope the Republic de l'Orange will help us. Obviously, we can't control what they do. We can only give them suggestions. And look at that. Already the British have escaped. And interesting. So they've actually pulled out of here. And of course, we have taken this area. I wonder if we've taken Port Elizabeth yet. No, it looks like we are still trying to get into Port Elizabeth with Botha here. And I think that's probably a good idea. Taking Port Elizabeth out would really harm the British. But it looks like my friends in Orange have also decided to go ahead and move into this area here, Umtata, which we're going to try and really take control of, really focus on, I guess you could say. Let's just take a look over here. So this is the military sub-mode where we could possibly add some new troops. But right now, as you can see, we don't have any new troops to add to our army. Not that we really need them anyway. But, just something to consider. There's a lot of other decisions over here that we could do. Essentially, this is just scripting event messages. Let's see what else we've got. Decision mode and economic mode. Once again, just decisions, economic, political decisions for our people. But really, I like to stick to just the regular military mode. And what I'm going to do is, I'm not too concerned about this army near Umtata, and I think the Orange Free State can probably take care of them. So I'm going to go ahead and move into assault posture, and we are going to charge into Bisho. As you can see, the British have taken it back. How dare they? But we're going to try to take Port Elizabeth and Bisho, which would, I think, be a really major victory. And look at this. There's still that army. Damn it. I thought that we destroyed him, and no, he's still here, and he's got a lot of men in that army, quite a lot. So we're going to have to cut him off. That's what I'm thinking, is just cut him off, maybe destroy some rail lines so that he doesn't get any supplies. At this point, I'm hoping he's so deep into the Orange Free State that he can't really remain here too long, but we are going to eventually have to focus on that army. So let's go ahead and continue forward and hope for the best. For South Africa. All right, there we go. Already a Boer victory at Port Elizabeth. Looks like we managed to break in, killing 3,000 men, 3,000 horses lost. We lost 256 men and 256 horses. And if you take a look over here, 26 companies of prisoners. So we're taking a lot of prisoners from the British, and that's awesome news. Here we go. Beautiful Boer victory here. The enemy here, General George S. White, has lost 6,047 men. We've lost 963 men and 963 horses lost. We are taking so many prisoners, which is really quite interesting. But I still hate the fact that the British are around here. As you can see, just because the Orange Free State didn't stay in this area, they now have retaken control. We still haven't taken control of Bisho, but I'm going to go ahead and try to do that. But pretty soon we're going to have to head back to our initial goal of course, trying to crush the British in their own territory. I'm going to build a depot right here so that we can start getting some more men. And even building a fort probably wouldn't be a bad idea. But I think I'm going to give our guys a chance to kind of recuperate for now. We always like to enter decision mode, see if we can get any mercenaries, anything like that. I don't think mercenaries are an issue, though, here for the most part. But maybe even reinforce some of these armies. Nothing we can do in terms of government. Remember, this is just the Boer War, so I'm trying to see no militia, no cavalry here. Well, that is concerning, to say the least. We may need to increase taxes. So I'm going to go ahead and increase the income tax slightly. I'm going to increase the census tax slightly, to 3%. People are not going to like that. And the maritime tax, put that at 9%. So we're really increasing taxes, and we're also gaining national morale points for these victories. So that's also a bonus. But I'm just going to stay put right here. I'll build the depot here in Port Elizabeth, and then I'm going to continue forward over here, or I'm going to continue north to try to take out one of these larger British armies. In fact, I think it's at Kimberley. What happened to him? I hope he's not escaped somewhere else. We definitely want to focus on him and be concerned about him this Let's Play. Just see right quickly here. Just taking a look. See what we have. Oh, yes, volunteer British infantry. Well, we'll have to do something about that later. So here we go, guys. We'll move forward. And I'm hoping we go ahead and take Port Elizabeth. Well, we already have Port Elizabeth, but I hope we build that depot and start regaining some reinforcements. And here we go, a huge British army. Huge British army. This might be our first loss. The Battle of East London, and indeed it was. We lost 2,326 men. Although, look at how many men the British lost, guys. I mean, we definitely put a dent in their numbers. They had 41,000 men. We had 4,144 men. We have managed to kill 10,711 British, which is awesome. We still lost a lot, though, and we're going to have to do something about that. But I do consider that a pretty awesome thing, and we also got George S. White to leave the north and come back down to the south. But as you can see, the British are getting a lot of reinforcements now, which is going to make the war effort a lot more difficult for us. Look at that. They are crushing the Orange Free State, and I hope the Orange Free Staters have a bit of a better suggestion on, or a bit of a better idea on how to improve their current situation, because they are getting crushed. Now, as you can see here, our forces are already regaining a ton of morale, etc., which is awesome. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to try and send this guy into the Orange Free State, into Bisho, East London, and we're going to have to take this unit, and I'm also going to leave them here just because I really want to take this area, even though there are a tremendous amount of men here. In fact, there really are a lot of men. I'm going to stay on a defensive posture, and I'm going to keep these guys on a defensive posture too, and hope that they just take the bait and attack us. But obviously, this could get quite interesting and quite dangerous for us. So let's go ahead. Boer victory! Thank goodness we stayed on the defensive. Wow, look at how many men we killed. Unbelievable. And we also took 2 companies prisoner. We only lost 1,506 men. Petrus Joubert is an amazing general, and we are working down that army of George S. White. We are just cutting it in half. Although, as you can see, he got some reinforcements from before, but he just lost 17,000 men. I mean, this makes a World War I battle, I wouldn't say look tame, but this looks essentially like a World War I battle. So amazing job by our men there. But we still have British forces cutting through the Orange Free State and moving around willy-nilly as they please, and we simply cannot have that. So it's just not acceptable. But it does look like we finally beat the army here at Elizabethtown. Once again, they've taken Port Elizabeth, which leads me to believe that no matter what happens, we're going to have to keep one unit at Port Elizabeth. I'm going to keep this guy right here, Joubert, at Bisho. And as you can see, we've also got this British army, which could pose a serious threat to us. And I'm going to try to take back Elizabeth. Although I'm not sure it's going to work out very well. And I think this time when I take back Elizabeth, I'm going to just bombard it, destroy everything. Because it's clearly an area that the enemy continues to take back or return to. And that's not something we need. That's not an issue we need to deal with. We really need to focus on victory only. And anything else is a problem. Now, I know I could be pressing F4, F5, F6. What you guys don't understand is I have a tremendous amount of keys assigned to these particular buttons, and if I hit them, we're either going to get a screenshot or the video is going to stop shooting. Something will happen. So I'm just going through here. It's quite interesting. It sort of shows our census. Ministry of Colonial Affairs is not something we need to concern ourselves with now. Foreign Ministry, no. Scores and objectives, no. We are going to see if we can get any units, if we can build any units, but it doesn't look like we can. Really looks like we've got to work with what we have, which, all things considered, we're doing pretty damn well anyway. So I'm not really worried about that. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we're keeping this guy here. We are going to move into, try to take Port Elizabeth. But we need to start helping our friends in the Orange Free State, because right now we're leaving them on their own just to focus on two coastal cities, which maybe is not the greatest idea. Oh my goodness, that was a Boer defeat at Port Elizabeth, and we lost 4,797 men. The British once again lost 12,000, so we are crushing their armies in battle. We're killing a ton of their men, but this army is probably totally destroyed, the army of Louis Botha. So we're going to need to fix him for sure. And having this guy here is worrying me. I'm going to try to get Louis Botha the hell out of here. Hopefully to an area where he can get some supply. And also cutting off some of the British areas. We're actually going to move over here to the Orange Free State place. And I'm hoping on the way we can take out some enemies. Now, it looks like Joubert's expedition is holding fast here. And I think I'm going to keep him in this area. But then again, part of me is thinking with all of these British forces kind of harassing our friends in the Orange Free State, maybe we need to leave East London and go ahead and attack the enemy. I'm thinking that's probably just a good idea. Apparently we can also do land bombardment with ships, but I don't believe we have any actual ships now to do a land bombardment. We could destroy the rail, and I think that's exactly what I'm going to do, so that we crush the rail in this area and make it harder for the British to move along these two areas. Let's go ahead and end the turn. I hope they don't catch our friend here again, because they could end up killing him. It looks like they just got a new commander there. Ooh, and once again a border defeat. And I'm thinking that Louis Botha is almost crushed, but once again we took out 11,000 of the British enemy. It's not like we're not making this a very hard job for them, but at the same time, we got a lot of work, and a border defeat by Petros. He was doing so well, now he's lost everybody in that stack, and the British only lost 500-something men. I wonder how that happens, because you would think we would have just a little bit more in terms of men. Here they're completely crushing us. My goodness, have we lost those men? I believe we've lost those armies. That's not good. We can't, unfortunately, add any of the men of the Orange Free State to these armies, but I'm starting to see how the border's lost, because right now we are totally out of men. Now I'm going to try to take a look at military sub mode. That's not working. Click here to enter, allow you to build units. No. Well, this is going to be interesting to deal with. I really wish we could control the Orange Free State instead of the South African Republic, because now things are becoming a lot more complicated. I mean, we simply have no military units at all. So how we're going to get out of this problem, I'm not really sure. I'm going to head back to Transvaal in Pretoria. This is basically our main base, and see if maybe, hopefully, we get some reinforcements very, very soon, because we need them. Let's take a look here. We must have some units. Maybe not. Let's end the turn. Okay, we are defeated, sir. Oh, dear. The enemy destroyed our armies, conquered our cities, and our nation is shattered. Now, that sucks, but I really wanted to look at the objectives. I'm not sure if we can. Yes, scores and objectives, because I want you guys to see the amount of men lost. Look at how many men the British lost. 76,000. We only lost, well, the Orange only lost 8,124. And we're playing as the Republic of South Africa. Orange are essentially our allies. And here we go. Our losses, 14,570. We also took 8,900 British prisoners, which is quite interesting. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that very, very quick Let's Play. If you guys like Pride of Nations, make sure to let me know in the comments below, and we will make this a very, very regular Let's Play. I really enjoy the amount of wars they have in this game, and it's definitely something that we could have some fun with. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and have an awesome, awesome day.